The following program will make you want to grow things and experience new and wonderful dreams about your plants, garden, and garden design. Listener participation is strongly advised. Good evening and welcome to Down the Garden Path with your hosts, Joanne Shaw and Matthew Dressing, right here on Reality Radio 101. To contact us live right now in the Toronto area of Southern Ontario, Canada, dial 905-725-1907. Toll free anywhere in North America, 1-866-905-7325. Worldwide, contact your local operator and then dial 1-866-656-5477. Send us an email right now. Our email address is instudio101@gmail.com. And now, your hosts of Down the Garden Path, Joanne Shaw and Matthew Dressing.
Thank you, Gary, and welcome everyone to our show tonight.
Wait, let me say something.
Sure. What are you going to say?
I want to let everybody know out there that this is the third. Did I say second?
You did. But I know you meant third.
Did I mean third? This is the
Time
third
flies when you're having fun, Gary.
anniversary of Down the Garden Path right here on Reality Radio 101.
I know.
And I want to say, of course, honestly, congratulations.
Thank you.
Very, very, very beautiful and a milestone.
Thank you. Well, I say congratulations to you, too, because you put up with me now for 3 years.
Oh, no, that's okay.
Almost every Monday night we spent together.
You're easy
Oh,
compared to a
my
lot of these shows.
Yes, well, thank you, Gary.
Thank you for being here and spreading the education of everything that has to do with gardens. We appreciate it. And I look forward to another 3 years, I hope.
Well, we'll see. So thank you. I did want to, I'll do my usual spiel, I guess, and say welcome everyone to this episode and this show tonight. Welcome to Down the Garden Path, where each week we discuss down-to-earth tips and advice for your plants, gardens, and landscapes. We think it is important and possible to have great gardens that are low maintenance, and that's what we do here. I am Joanne Shaw, landscape designer and owner of Down to Earth Landscape Design for the past 10 years. It is currently a design-only business here in the east of the GTA, and with me is Matthew Dressing.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to tonight's very special show. I am Matthew Dressing, also a local landscape designer, owner of Natural Affinity Designs here in Oshawa, mainly a design business. And we here at Down the Garden Path enjoy each week bringing you interesting, relevant, and helpful topics to help you achieve a great garden. We learn right along with you from each other, from our gardens, from our research, from our guests that join us here each week. And we also welcome questions via social media, emails, and calls.
Yes, and especially today, we are hoping, we've been promoting on social media that to celebrate our anniversary episode, we are going to have some giveaways and some free stuff. And so we're hoping that you write in your questions or comments.
We call that swag in the radio business.
Do we? In the which radio
We're giving
business?
away some swag.
We are giving away some swag. Yes, we are.
Nice
So please email us in a question if you've got a question, and or comment.
Or just to even say hello.
For sure. There you go. They can even just say hello.
Just say hello.
We'll be talking about a bunch of different things. I know I actually went through my list of all my shows the last 3 years. I have them all on a spreadsheet divided up by the year. So I have a list of them. So if you ask me a question about a guest or something like that, I can look that up. I have that information.
Very nice.
I know. I was for a minute there. I was fighting with printing it off. I thought okay. This is it. I'm bringing in my laptop. Like I was about to have a fit with the. Yeah, when you asked me one of the things I did today. Yeah, that was one.
That was
with
one?
the spreadsheet. Yes, definitely. Technology was not the top of mind today. But so so please do that. I'm really looking forward to. I'd love to hear. Anything, a question for us. We're going to just talk about kind of the past bit of time, or I'm going to talk a bit about my favorite, or just about the show. Oh my gosh, I can't talk at all.
She's so excited.
I know. Oh my goodness. And, but one of my free giveaways that I did want to, we've got some books here that we'll read to you. Matthew will tell you all about the books. But I did want to say that I would love to hear from the listeners who have been listening for a while, or I guess a short time, and have a favorite guest or a favorite topic that we've covered, or something specific about the show. So I hope you can write in, email in, or call in if you want. The phone line is open. For us, and then we can and so what I thought I would do, and this is mostly geared towards the local GTA, is I'm willing to do and I'm a landscape designer in addition to hosting this radio show. If you didn't know that already, I'm a landscape designer. Oh my goodness. And I would be happy to do a consultation, like to do not a drawing necessarily, but just to come over, or we could try to do it over the phone if you've got pictures, that type of thing. So that was my little big giveaway, my big grand prize. Gary, does that qualify as a grand prize?
Yes, it does.
Okay.
I was writing down. You have an email here.
Okay.
If you're writing in, listeners, I just want to make a suggestion. You don't have to do this, but if you want to tell us where you're from or where you're listening from,
that
would be interesting.
Yeah.
Right?
That would be really good.
That's all, yeah.
So we do Adam. Adam is listening. Oh my goodness, Adam, I hope you can tell us where you're listening from. Thank you very much. You've been listening for 3 years, so I really appreciate it. The show has really grown in 3 years, and thank you for making that possible. And if you are local and you do want to have a favorite, to give me feedback on a favorite show or a favorite topic that we've covered, then Gary's going to kind of compile all the different emails, and we'll have different draws for different things, right? For the swag.
Yeah, so write in and say hi. And all those emails will get entered into a thing. And you'll be drawn for one of these lovely books.
Yeah, so do you want to tell our listeners a bit about the books we have?
Well, the first book we have here is,
Did I say, Adam Anderson? I didn't say your name. Thank you, Adam. And you are listening in Seattle, Washington. Very cool.
Very cool.
I don't know what zone that would be. They can grow way more than we can.
Yes.
Yes. So thank you for listening, Adam.
Yes. Thank you, Adam. That's awesome.
Yeah. So we have some great books.
Yes. And Adam, your name will go into that draw as well. So we have from Rhonda Messingham Hart, The Deer Proofing Your Yard and Garden.
Excellent.
So a beautiful book, lots of tricks and tips, talking about how to do different techniques, what deers do and do not like, a lot of different cool lists of deer resistance plants for different regions, trees, shrubs,
Remember we had that critter show?
We did.
This would have been a great reference.
That would have been a great reference.
Excellent.
Exactly. Do you remember that show?
Yeah, I do remember that show. Excellent. And we've got another really good one.
Yeah, and this one's kind of neat, and I don't think you've ever had a show about this. No, we haven't had
a show about it, and I know nothing about that, and I can tell you, know nothing.
Yeah, I'm limited too, so it'd be really interesting to have a conversation with either the author or, put together
Gary,
a show.
Gary's got the connection, could we have
an
author
do,
on?
and there's 2 authors, I think, on that book, is there not?
Yeah, so I believe it's written by Jennifer Megacy.
That's right. And she was on here as well. I can't remember which show, but yes.
Okay, and then so then it was photographed by Jeff Hansen.
That's right.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and it's The Joy of Keeping a Root Cellar, Canning, Freezing, Drying, Smoking, and Preserving the Harvest. and it goes through all the different fruits and vegetables and
which is really cool.
yeah, how to lemons, melons, berries, things like that on drying, smoking, all really. It looks like a really interesting read. I mean, you have to look at this one.
Excellent.
A little
Yeah,
further.
I mean, we had a fun. My son and I tried to do candied jalapeno. We had like an abundance of jalapeno peppers. Now, did I tell you about that?
Yeah.
And we tried to do the candied, and so the recipe, on Pinterest, you can find the recipes to do it. But as far as like how hot should the water be, and should you do you have to boil the lids, and do you have to boil the water, and how long do they boil for, and how much do you fill them? Like they say, fill it. Well, do you fill it to the top? Do you leave space? As far as the canning technique, so I found it very stressful because we had the recipe, but we didn't have the canning,
The specifics.
and then it was you were in the middle of it, so then you couldn't refer back to. So we were sorely unprepared. So it was so that would be a great book for someone. So so definitely. So I'm excited.
To do some giveaways.
That's right. That's right.
I think we also have a few garden guides.
Excellent.
So basically, just a local garden center has put together a compendium, if you will, of trees and shrubs and tips and lists of things like that.
Excellent.
So, yeah,
excellent.
we have a few of those
Everybody
to give
knows
away
that
as well.
Matthew works at a local garden center. So we've got some garden magazines or garden guides that we can give away as well. So looking forward to hearing from everybody. I thought I'd start at the beginning. I'm going to pick on Gary. And so why did I start the show? Gary, why did I start the show?
Because you were lonely.
Yeah, I needed something to do. Really, Gary and I met through a mutual friend, and he kept, and every time he'd pop in, he'd, ask a gardening question, or I'd talk about something garden related, and he'd be, try to tell me he owns a studio, and he thought that was just a great niche, and I should really do it. And I probably put you off for about a year, didn't I?
Yeah, it was a while.
It was a long time, and and then it was just this.
I felt rejected very much.
Yes, I bet, because I did. I'd see Gary come. I'm like, no, I cannot do a radio show. What, But one day I just kind of went, okay, if I don't try it, and he's gonna find somebody else to do it, and then I'm never gonna know.
Yeah.
So. I've always, and it's funny because I've always wanted a blog, but actually I'm a really bad writer. And if I can think of my elementary school days, I'm a really good talker. I got into a lot of trouble for talking. And so I thought, okay, I'll give it a shot. And it has been a lot of fun. It's been a lot of learning experiences. And Gary's been very patient and a very good teacher.
You guys do great.
So yeah. So thank you, Gary, for convincing me to, and being patient with me. Oh, my goodness.
No issue.
Yeah.
No issue.
And I felt, Matthew, you joined. I'm just trying to think. Like, how did that? You were a guest for a bit. We knew each other from the garden center,
Right.
right?
Yep.
And you were a great go-to guest. Short notice or long notice. And you seem to enjoy it too.
Yeah. I mean, I'd done Rogers TV, and
Yes.
I do seminars all the time at local hort clubs around Durham region. And then, you asked if I wanted. I think you actually asked a mutual friend of ours, Janice.
Right.
And she had said, Joanne, and that,
Yeah.
right. She'd like you to do the radio show. And at first, I was a little hesitant too.
Yes.
And then we connected in the garden
because
center.
Janice, and I don't know if Janice is listening, because Janice was like, no way, Jose, she was coming on, right? So she was quick to say, okay, no, not me, but how about Matthew? Yes. And you have the luxury also of living around the corner from here.
Oh, yeah, I'm less than 10 minutes away.
Yeah. So so that makes it easier. Made it an easier decision too, right?
Yeah. Yeah, and then so we got together.
Mm-hmm.
And we were just talking, I think just general hort stuffs and questions. Yeah. And I really enjoyed it. And then you invited me back.
Yes.
And we actually did I think my second show was your last anniversary.
I know. Isn't that weird?
We talked all about
You interviewed me.
Down to Earth. Yeah, we interviewed you. So.
So that was very good because that's here on my list. Yeah. Chris has written in. So Chris, congratulations on 3 years listening from Winnipeg, Manitoba. Thank you so much. You've been listening for over a year. Amazing topics. Well, thank you, Chris. And definitely if you have a favorite one in this past year, please let me know.
Exactly.
That would
And
be
we want to
great.
give out that email address again.
Oh yes, that email address, Gary. Because where's
It's
the
right
sheet
up there on the
there it
monitor
is.
on the
it's
screen.
right on the monitor, Gary.
there
it's
you
right
go.
There. So the email address is instudio101@gmail.com. If you do want to call, then please call us at 905-725-1907 locally, or in North America at 1-866-905-7325. So please, if you've got a question for us, we'd love to hear from you.
Right.
Definitely.
Send us your questions and congratulate Joanne on 3 amazing years.
Yeah, or
Down the
feedback,
garden
you know,
path.
what you like, what you want to hear more of next year,
Right.
that type of thing.
Show ideas.
Yeah,
things like that.
absolutely. Our new segment, right? We kind of the last little few months
Mhm.
or I guess mostly since the summer, we started that segment.
Yeah,
Yeah, so I'd love to hear feedback on that.
exactly.
So,
And everyone who writes in or calls in, their name and address will be entered in our draw, because we do have some awesome giveaways. If you're just tuning in, we have some books. And if your local Joanne from Down to Earth Garden Design is going to auction off a garden consultation.
that's right.
Right, so you can meet Joanne Shaw in person. And
yes, or if you're not super close, then we can try to arrange something over the phone if you need some garden questions, dilemmas answered, that type of thing. So so that'd be great. I'm looking forward to it. So why do I keep doing the show?
why do you?
I know. Well, I think it comes down to wanting to help people with their gardens and realizing that, and I'm sure doctors feel this way too. Not that I'm comparing myself to a doctor, but Google is not good. You know,
The
Google.
doctor of gardenology.
Yes, yeah. But see, there's so many variables. So, and I'm sure that's the case also with all the medical issues that I Google. You know, there's so many variables, right?
Yeah.
So, and I get this all the time from clients. Oh, well, I don't know if I want that tree. That tree, I Googled it and that tree gets really big. And it's like, well, that tree gets really big in Vancouver,
Mhm.
but it doesn't really get big here.
Yeah.
We have a really short growing season, you know? So I think there's so many variables to Google. And I think even when people read in books, you know, even books, like a lot of the books are North America or they're England. Like when I first
Right.
started this, when I started garden design, I couldn't find anything that was for local, really.
Yes.
You know, it's really a lot of the, even the TV shows, right? Were a lot of British TV shows, British books for pictures of plants that are growing in North Carolina, design, even if they were about design, they were about designing plants that we can't even grow here.
Yeah, that's what I was just say. I find even the stuff when you come into the garden center. Well, I saw it on the internet. Okay, well, is it an American state? Is it a
yes.
site, or where's it from?
Yeah.
Exactly.
So I guess I started because I thought I'll just give it a shot, and then I really realized that. And everywhere I go, if you say that you're a landscape designer, you know, people have a garden or plant question.
Yes.
So I just this was kind of a natural extension. And I love the design aspect of it, but sometimes it's more of a simple question of how do I do this, or what's wrong with that, or when do I do this, you know? And I think that's been a great, the radio show's been great for that. Right?
I agree.
You know, as to really let people know what to do now and what not to do. I think everybody's looking for low maintenance. Everybody's busy.
Yep.
Right? But everybody wants their yard to look good. And they're not, wanting to spend hours and hours on the weekend in their yards.
Yeah.
Right? Not everybody wants to do that. And I'm a gardener and I don't even really want to do that. I don't know about you. Do you want to do that?
That's how I meditate. I go to Nana's and
Yes.
garden everything and
Yeah.
just
Yeah, to a
5
certain
hours
degree.
later.
5 hours later, yeah. So anyway, that's something, I think Google is, it's worth it to a certain degree, but it's something that I hope our show and you can find past episodes for anybody who hasn't been listening for that long. Past episodes are available on my website at downtoearth.ca, the number 2. And we announced at the end of last week's show, did we?
show.
Yeah, about I've officially turned it into a podcast.
right.
So you can download it on your podcast app on your phone, on your iPhone. I'm just working on Google Play. I think that's there. And I'm working on a few of the other non-iTunes, non-Apple apps. So I'm slowly going to transition everything off my website to that medium, so that gives everybody they can listen to whenever they want, wherever they are, right? A little bit easier.
I agreed. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
So,
fantastic.
so please check it out. Please, there's the whole spiel about reviews and subscribing, so you find out when the episodes are get launched. And we're gonna, because I've got a back catalog, it's not really gonna be in order necessarily,
Right.
but I think it's still gonna be fun. And they're all the shows have been great and really informative. So I think it's gonna be great.
There's a wealth of knowledge and a lot of exciting guests there to go back and listen to. And Peter, I'm going to say your last name, Jonasim?
Yep, sounds like it.
Sorry, Peter, if I mispronounced it. But he says, hi, Joanne and Matthew. I love the shows about the bees. He loved the show about the bees. Hoping that was you. And we did do,
Yep.
I'm trying to remember the name of the farm, Lawrence.
Steve Lawrence.
Steve Lawrence.
Dare to Dream.
That's
Mhm.
right. Your knowledge, insight, and experience has really helped me and my sort of green thumb. And you're listening from Toronto, so
Excellent.
Peter's very local. Thank you,
Yeah,
Peter.
that's great, Peter. Steve was on a few times. I think he was on once with both of us, I think.
Yep.
And then I had him on 2 other times. So that was a lot of information. And actually, they've changed so much that he's going to be a really great guest, I think, for 2018. So
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to talking to Steve
He's got a lot of
again.
exciting stuff.
Yeah, they've been really doing a lot, developing the farm and honey, everything they're doing. So and he's built an indoor, so the bees stay inside now. So it's been really fun to watch him. You should follow him on Facebook because it's been really cool to follow. That's Dare to Dream with the number 2 Farms, right? I think he's the same as me.
Yep.
Excellent. Well, thank you very much for listening, Peter. I really appreciate it. And thank you very much for rating in as well. So many things. Did you have a favorite? Because I know, I don't know, I don't think it's been a full year since you've been co-host, but you've been off and on in the beginning of the year. I don't have that. I should have researched that, Matthew.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
when did I?
I know.
Have to go into my emails and see what you asked.
Yeah.
Do I have a favorite?
I think last week was your favorite.
Yeah.
You really enjoyed Daniel's episode.
I really did. I really did enjoy listening to the wolf. And I like I was saying to you before, right? I was so lost in awe about his experiences and what he had done and picturing myself do it. I felt like I wasn't even here. Like I was actually listening and I contributed nothing. It was just
fine.
so exciting to hear, for sure. And I really enjoyed our last year anniversary show. I like that kind of that twist that we did. I enjoyed interviewing you and putting you in the spotlight. And then there's so many great shows like the bees and the seeds, the monarchs, even just our monthly, what to do in the garden thing.
Yes, yeah. I think that's been a lot of fun.
That has been a lot of fun.
Definitely. As much as I really like the guests that we've had on, and I certainly, and the authors, interviewing them have been great. But there's topics I've really enjoyed researching. So definitely each month and the talking about which plants to plant for that month, that type of thing. I think that's really been really helpful for me. And I think it's our timing. I think we've worked it out really nice to have it at the end of one month for the following month, that type of thing. So I've really enjoyed adding that to our cycle. I really have.
Painting a picture for all our listeners from month to month.
for sure. But I also found when I think back to some people that now I follow on Instagram, so I know I've mentioned her recently, Melanie from the Dahlia May, the flower farmer. She was one. Gary, and you and I both loved interviewing her.
I did, because she is the epitome of a small business that's done well.
Yes.
Right? So,
and following her on Instagram, she's done well, but she has had some struggles. Have you been, because I know I got you to follow her.
Yes.
And they for 3 years in, man, she has, I don't know that I could do what she's done, really. So it has been amazing to watch her and just watch that whole industry. I think that's going to be the way it's going to go. I think that we're going to see flowers stop being imported by the volume that they have been imported, and I think it's great to see them being grown local. I think that is a really, it's just like we did with food, we're moving towards the buy local with our honey, with our fruit and vegetables, and now with our flowers.
I want to just,
that's really cool.
I don't mean to interrupt you,
No.
but again, I want to make sure you give out that email address for folks that maybe I see people tuning in now.
Okay.
So just so we know, they know what's going on tonight.
Excellent. Well, thank you for welcome to the show, everybody. If it's just joining us, this is our 3rd anniversary episode, and we have some great giveaways, and we're really excited. We want everybody to email in a question, a favorite show, a favorite topic. So our email address is instudio101@gmail.com, or you can call in. I will read our local number, which is 905-725-1907. If you have a question for us, favorite show or anything. So we're just kind of recapping the last few years, Matthew's last few months, that kind of thing. And so thank you for tuning in and thank you for listening. And I'm really excited. I can't believe it's been 3 years, and I can't believe we've had this much. I printed out all of the list of all the guests and all the topics, and it's been really cool. It's been great to have people from all over. It'd be great to have a lot of local people. Helen Battersby, who was here talking about dry shades. Sean James in the past has been here. Not physically here, but on the show. So it's been really great to hear from a lot of people that are local, and then other authors. Jan Johnson, Gary, remember that landscape designer from New York?
Yep.
We had her on. We had so much in the one show that we had to have her on a second show.
Right.
Yep, and her book Heaven is a Garden, which is an amazing book. And she's actually speaking in Toronto in January at the Landscape Designers Conference. So
you
I'm
should
really
try to get her here to call in if she can't come in while she's here.
Mm-hmm.
You should try to get her to call in a segment. I'm sure people would be interested in that.
Yeah. Well, she's got a new book too, so I've got to get her on in the new year to talk about her new book, The Spirit of Stone. Absolutely. So I was in awe. That was one episode where Gary had to really help me because I was in so much awe of her and her expertise that, so he rescued me there for sure. So that was one of my favorite shows.
Nice.
Yeah.
That would be a good show. She would be great to have on.
Yeah.
For sure. I'm going to have to go back. I have not listened to those ones.
Oh, okay.
So I'll have to look for those myself.
Yes.
And it'll be exciting because I'm going to the design conference.
Yes.
In January.
Excellent.
And so, it'll be exciting to see your talk in person.
Yeah, I think it will. Definitely. I also want to mention Evelyn Haddon, her book on health strip gardening. That book really impacted me because that inspired me to take up quite a bit of my own personal yard and kind of turn that into what we call a health strip. And so that's definitely a book for, if you didn't hear the show, that's something to go back and look for Evelyn's show, and to turning, either that boulevard between the sidewalk and the curb, and that's what's typically called the health strip area, which is really tough growing conditions, that type of thing. And I covered it all with cardboard last fall, and 6 inches of mulch, and waited for that 6 inches of cardboard, and waited for that cardboard to decompose midsummer this year, and then started planting it. So that's a short synopsis, but she had lots of tips and tricks and some plants, some tough plant, solutions, but just the whole concept of really getting rid of the boulevards and getting rid of the grass there, the high needs of the grass, and making that a garden.
Yeah.
So that was a really great concept.
That is a great concept.
Yeah. So
we're looking like we're going to say something.
I know. I made notes, but we're not even looking at them. I'm not even following the notes.
No. We're just having fun here.
That's right. We are sipping coffee. Gary spoiling us today.
You should see the spread that Gary brings out.
If I knew it was 3 years, you would have got 3 cookies each.
Well, you gave us 4 cookies.
Okay. Well, 2
for
each.
Oh,
right,
2 each.
Yes,
Right.
yes,
I'm sorry, 3 each. Yes.
That's okay.
But it was beautiful, yeah. It's an amazing thing. And so, if you're just tuning in, it's Down the Garden Path's 3-year anniversary show. And so we're just recapping all the fun things and just, shooting the breeze, I guess, about all of our fun times and enjoyable things. So don't forget to write in at instudio101@gmail.com. We do have this evening for people who are going to write in, say hi, share with Joanne your favorite tips and tricks that she's given you over the years.
Okay.
Or, share with her what your favorite show was, or maybe you have an idea or a topic you'd like to hear us talk about in the future. But everybody who writes in will get to have their email and their name entered into a draw, because we do have a couple of cool books here. One about the joy of keeping a root cellar, and one on deer-proofing your yard and your garden.
Excellent.
I've got a few garden guides from a local garden center that I work at. And the grand prize is Joanne Shaw from Down to Earth Garden Design coming to your place or over the phone or radio, depending on where you are, to do a garden consultation. So don't forget to write in and get in on this little contest.
That's right. That's right. And I do hope you follow along on social media. Website is downtoearth.ca with the number 2. And then the Instagram and Twitter and Facebook links are all there. That's the best way to kind of find out about the show, what's happening with as we release the podcast, turn kind of the past shows into podcasts. So that's a great way to do that. Oh, excellent. We have another person writing in, Ty. Happy 3 years on Reality Radio 101. Thank you very much, Ty.
Thanks, Ty.
He loves the station, Gary. He loves your station.
I saw that.
Yes.
And I didn't even pay him.
Yeah, that's good. Live bugs to help your lawn. Yes.
Nice.
Was that the nematodes?
The nematodes?
Yes. And you're listening from Oakville. Excellent. The nematodes. Yes, that's what you wrote. I'd be curious to know. I know we talked about doing it, and then I actually did it, and then I helped my neighbor do his lawn. So that was really exciting. I'm going to feel much better about it doing it again in the spring. But we'll see. I don't know if you, Ty, had a chance to use the nematodes, or if you ran out of time and that's something you want to learn more about for the spring. But that was a great topic. Yeah. And I think now, especially with our U.S. listeners, they don't realize that we here in Ontario have an herbicide and pesticide ban. So there's a lot of chemicals that you have that we don't have and we can't use anymore.
We dream about.
Well, we do and we don't, right? Yeah, we know our health is improved and the pollinators have improved, by not having them. So then makes us have to resort to some really obscure things like the nematodes, like the corn gluten, that type of thing. So some really different, more environmentally friendly treatments. So it's been great to research though. That's been another really cool thing to research, because I don't know if the herbicide ban started where that happened right when I started the show or not. So researching all of those alternatives has been really cool. Yeah. And I hope for our U.S. listeners, which we do have quite a few of, that, I hope they're learning about them and trying those as well, even though they do have access and they are allowed to spray the chemicals. So so hopefully there is some benefit there. So thank you so much for Ty for emailing in. Really appreciate it. So what else do you want to talk about?
Oh, what else do we want to talk about?
I know.
Christmas trees.
Yes, we do have. Well, I'm looking forward to next week's show. So we did want to let everybody know that we're actually going to end our season next week.
Yes.
At the end of November. And so season 3 is going to end, and we're going to end, of course, with decorating with greens and live, all the live things that you can bring into the house to make it feel more like Christmas.
Yeah.
So, in addition to Christmas trees, your wreaths, your garland types of things, some plants that we can bring in. Yep. So we're going to cover a ton of stuff next week. So really looking forward to that.
Yeah, that'll be an exciting show.
Yeah, definitely.
Right now out there.
Definitely. I'm really looking forward to having really lots of plans. So Matthew and I are going to be planning a lot over that break to what we're going to do for 2018.
Oh, yeah.
So please feel free to email us or write into social media and give us ideas and tips and suggestions.
Yeah.
Definitely looking forward to that as well, for sure. Yeah.
And if you can go to Joanne's website, down the number 2 earth.ca, or mine, naturalaffinitydesigns.ca, you can reach us there to send us your questions or show ideas. But don't forget, you can also write in. Gary is very gracious at instudio101 at gmail.com, instudio101 at gmail.com. And you can send him things and he will forward them to us too.
That's right.
Don't forget, send us all your fun
Absolutely.
questions.
That's right. Yeah. And even
Yeah.
still now, we still have another half hour or so of the show.
We do. So
And and I'm so glad. I mean, internet radio is really cool. I mean, I kind of have to explain it to people, right?
yeah.
But I think I think it's really a cool thing, and people love listening at their computer, whether doing whatever, and they can listen. I know I listen to music sometimes during the day when it's just the station's
And
music.
it better be our station.
That's right. It is. So Blaine is listening from Halliburton. Thank you very much. He said, congratulations on 3 years. You guys are the best. Oh, thank you very much,
Thanks,
Blaine.
Thanks for listening.
Really appreciate that. And I hope we're helpful. I mean, I think there's so many variables. I was saying earlier about Google not being super reliable just because of the zones, but also things change, right? The weather changes. One spring, and the 3 years we've done the show, I've done the show, every spring has been different. Every summer has been different. Every fall has been different.
Exactly. So there's
Right?
always those. Yep.
Yeah. So, it's changing. Like, it changes. So it's not like I can just repeat shows, really.
No. Yeah, exactly. You kind of always have to update. And that's what I enjoy about the show, too, is, even just the technology and the plant varieties and all these new discoveries in our industry, we get to talk about them in person and bring them to the forefront. Things that we get to see behind the scenes that, are a little delayed, that homeowners may not, know about or have heard about yet. So I enjoy doing that too.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I think the Garden Bloggers Fling is huge for me on that.
Yeah, that would be a great source.
Yeah, so that not only am I seeing some of the stuff that's happening in the U.S. Ahead, so I see some of the plan introductions, and because we often tour some of the behind the scenes things, but I'm also meeting fellow bloggers that are working on a book, and then so that's how I met Kylie, and then she released the book, and then had her on the show. So it's been a really cool way for kind of like you said, like inside information or see the way the trends are going,
exactly,
that type of thing. I definitely saw the pollinator trend, the bees, the birds. As Steve is famous for saying, is the bees are like the canary in the coal mine.
Yep.
And the way the bees go is the way, humans are going. So it's really something to take notice. And I think that's been a great thing that Ontario has stepped up as far as the neonics. And I don't know what's happening in the U.S., but I know there's definitely lots of talk about it. There's lots of focus back on milkweed and not using Roundup on milkweed, that type of thing. So it's definitely been a really fascinating time in this medium, I think.
It is. It has been for sure. And and I guess that's an opportunity right there. I would just wanted to say thank you. Thank you for inviting me to co-host your show. It is very exciting week to week working with you to, come up with guests and research and lots of fun stuff to talk about for all of our listeners, and spending Monday night with Gary as well.
That's right.
Yeah. Thank you for
Thank
making
you.
me part of that.
Oh, you're welcome. Well, thank you. I mean, it's definitely fun to kind of bounce stuff off of someone else who knows gardens and knows plants and things like that. So I think it's definitely sometimes when you just feel like you're talking to myself or a little lonely. Although Gary was always here to keep me company, and he's always loved the topic as well. Even though this is your gig as far as music and a radio show, you've always been keen as far as the garden stuff, right, Gary?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
No, and it's true. There's a lot of stuff. People do shows here, and this is like community education for free.
Yeah.
They tune in, and it's not only your show, and not to plug anyone else's show, but they learn about movies and science and sports and this and that. So, I've learned a lot from your show, even though my garden doesn't show it, but I've learned a lot.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, and the one show that we had the most fun was Ernest with Aquascape talking about ponds.
Yes.
You remember that? And oh my God, we asked like a simple question. You asked him a simple question about how many fish did you have in your pond?
Yeah.
And that was like it was like a whole calculus class.
I was. 'Cause I killed my fish, so yeah.
So we did a couple shows in April, I think, with Ernest.
Yeah.
From Aquascape about ponds. So that one I remember like trying so hard not to laugh, honest to goodness, because math is not my strong suit, and I never did. And it keeps coming up when I have to look at grade and to certain design aspects, right? Square footage, blah blah blah. Linear footage, square footage type of thing, and my head explodes. But I nowhere did I see math coming in for how many fish can I have and do I need in my small pond? and Ernest his calculation, like, I don't know, my mouth was just like, I couldn't believe it. So that was definitely a funny episode.
That was.
We were all a little shocked there and trying to figure out the math. But that was a lot of fun for sure. Again, if you're just joining us, please write in. Question, comments, anything that feel free to email us at instudio101@gmail.com. Forgetting how to talk today. We've got some great giveaways. We have some books. Deer Proofing Your Yard by Rhonda Massingham Hart, Yard and Garden. And which reminds me of that critter. That was a really great episode about critters in your garden. And we have another great book about root cellar, creating a root cellar. So canning, preserving, drying, smoking, and preserving the harvest. So those are great books. And we are looking forward to give them away. Oh, Gail's asking, did she win? Did she win? Only kidding. Love your show. And she's listening from South Valley, New Mexico. Wow, Gail. Thank you very much for listening from New Mexico.
That's very
cool. Much warmer there than I'm guessing it is here for us. So we're a little envious for you. And I love your email address, actually, too. That's a very good one.
Oh, yeah.
So thank you, and I'm glad, and thank you for telling us where you are as well. It's always good to know where our listeners are coming from.
It is. It's always interesting to see where everybody is.
Yeah, definitely. And I'm hoping we do a good job of covering the different topics and that are applicable regardless of people's geography. I know we kind of relay back a lot to the GTA here in Greater Toronto area, here in Ontario, but I think a lot of what we talk about can be related in regardless. Of where you are, right? Especially with bees and pollinators and different things like that. So yeah. Very cool.
Very cool. Very cool. Yeah, there's still lots of times to write in and jump in onto that contest, win a book or a garden guide, or the grand prize of
garden guide.
Joanne Shaw coming to your yard. You seem to forget that one too. No,
I do. I'm sorry. I'm like, yes. Can you tell I'm not really good at promoting myself, Gary?
No, you are. You are.
And I hope everybody, like I said, we've talked about our website and all the social media links for following along. Really looking forward to season 4 in 2018 and bringing you lots of new stuff and new guests and new authors. That's been a lot of fun.
Yeah. I think we're going to try doing a little more of this contest thing we were talking about too.
Definitely.
Maybe give away some books or some other things.
We're definitely looking forward to that. Yeah. And I'm excited about turning it into a podcast as well, because I know not everybody can always just listen. I'm a huge podcast fan, and I love going for walks. And actually, it motivates me if I see a new podcast got up that I've subscribed to gets loaded in the morning, and then I think, and usually they're a little shorter than our show. They're about 30, 40 minutes. And then I'll exercise, like I'll walk or I'll do something and listen to a podcast. So, but I do listen in the car. I was listening to one on the way here. So so I'm a little bit of a podcast junkie.
You are.
And so and there's not a lot of garden podcasts out there. So I think it's a real growing segment. And I think it's great that, when you've got a topic like October in the garden or November in the garden, even next year, they're very evergreen. Next year, you can Google that, November, what should I be doing in my November garden? And we've got an episode for you. So I'm really hoping that takes off. And
Yeah. So don't forget to tune in.
Watch. That's right.
Subscribe to Joanne's newsletter. Follow downtoearth.ca. Or even naturalaffinitydesigns.ca. Mine's kind of a tongue twister, isn't it?
Yours is quite a tongue twister, actually. Yes.
And follow along to, past episodes and the iTunes or the blog. The podcast.
Yeah, definitely. Because I've got this whole back catalog of shows and episodes where we've had some great guests, and I'm really looking forward to uploading those to the podcast. And so that's something that you can download right on your phone and listen to in the car or wherever you are. So So I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, it was funny. You say that you were a podcast junkie, and
Yes.
I think every time we meet out front and when we're coming in to do the show,
Yes.
there's often, I was just listening to a podcast.
I know,
or-
I know. You've even thought if I've been on the phone because you waited outside my car.
Yeah.
because he thinks I'm on the phone and I'm actually just listening to a
I was
podcast.
just listening to the end of that podcast. I
That's
wanted
right.
to see how.
That's right. But I think that listening to the shows and having this show and listening to other shows on this station, Gary, has really gotten me because it's kind of the same thing, right?
It is the same thing.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that have listened to podcasts that have told us, which is great, because a lot of times it's a live show and then someone puts that up on their website, so it's
Right.
a podcast. But a lot of people have said they were turned on now by internet radio, hearing what they hear in a podcast first live before it goes there.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, and it's easier to just listen that way. And then if they miss something or they want to go back for reference, they go to that person's website and it's there.
Right.
So, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And I think knowing something it's convenient to have a podcast that you can listen to whenever you want, but it's also knowing that, 7 o'clock on Mondays.
Yeah, of course.
Or, Lou's show that follows our show. If there's anybody's tuning in early for Lou's show, knowing that 8 o'clock every Monday, Lou's here to talk about the motorcycles,
It's
that
like
type of thing. So, yeah, like your favorite TV show.
That's exactly
really.
what I was going to say.
Yeah.
Tune in for your favorite.
What's your
radio
favorite
show.
TV show, Matt? Let our listeners know.
What's my favorite TV show? What is it now? I've got so many on the go right now. And more Netflix.
Do you,
than
yeah,
Yeah,
you, do,
Netflix.
do you
It's
tape
the
a
same.
lot too and keep them then and watch them when you can?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what everyone does.
So, I mean,
Boy.
Stranger Things 2 just ended. I'm on Supernatural right now. New Star Trek Discovery.
So you're a techie.
Planet Earth.
You love
is
all that
out.
stuff.
Oh, yes.
Yeah,
techie
I'm
stuff.
kind of nature, sci-fi. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, not me.
Well, I'm pretty eclectic. Well, when do you have time to watch TV, Gary?
First of all, I don't.
Yes.
Yeah.
But when I do, I am very old-fashioned. I only watch stuff that's made in the 40s, 50s, and 60s,
Oh, okay.
movies and TV shows.
Okay.
And I haven't
Really?
watched a lot of shows since.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, a lot of those are. Good
That's
thing is a
very
lot of those
cool.
would be on Netflix now. Like
They
you
are,
can
but I
really-
also get them online.
Yes.
They're all online.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Streaming, that kind of thing. Yeah. I mean, I'm pretty eclectic. I've seen a couple of the episodes of that new Star Trek one. Still not sure.
I haven't been in a movie theater since 1977.
Really?
What?
That's true.
1977.
Really? What did you see in 1977?
Towering Infernal.
What?
Towering Infernal.
Oh,
Because I was
my
in college to be a firefighter, right?
goodness. Right.
So they wanted us to go see that
oh my
and critique
goodness.
it to see how real or fake it was.
Yes.
So that's the last time.
Wow.
Don't like them. Don't like theaters. Don't
No?
like people coughing on me. The whole thing. I just don't like it.
Sticky seats and
Sticky
So,
floors.
seats,
if it's-
people crunching.
And I like old movies.
Yeah.
Most movies I watch, are
Yes.
all black and white.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
I hate remakes. Like
Oh,
if
I
there was a movie
know,
from
I
the
know.
50s or 60s I'm watching,
And then they
and then I
remade
see it in
it.
the 80s, 90s, or
Yeah.
2000, if it's there and it's a remake, it's never the same.
I know.
I hate that.
know.
I live and let live, right? It was done once.
Yes.
Let it go.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not talking a sequel, change it up. Like
Right.
if you have certain
But you think of like
movies
Ocean's
that-
11, right?
Yeah,
And even now,
exactly.
I think in theaters is that Murder on the Orient Express,
Yeah.
right? Although I've heard that's really good. But again, it's remaking something that's already
It
been
is.
made.
Well, it was a book as well.
Yes.
And I know you know about this, Joanne. I don't know if Matt does, but we have a geek show here on Friday nights.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's the Cisco and Ebert of Canada. And they go to 5 or 6 movies a week
Oh my goodness.
on
Do
media
they really?
passes. Yeah.
Wow.
Every day, just about. And they review and they write, and they got a show here. They've been on 6 years here.
Wow.
And they review stuff, and they review comic books, movies,
Yeah.
video,
video
everything,
games. Yeah. They
everything,
do the
yeah.
big video game thing. So
Yeah.
yes, I'm a
and they live the lifestyle like you guys live your lifestyle,
for
gardening,
sure.
right?
For sure.
But it's like when they talk about this stuff, I just can't. I go, I'm not into the sparks and things blowing up and spaceships crashing. It's not me.
yes.
You know?
Yeah, definitely.
I'd rather watch a sewing show.
Well, so you can relate to
True.
sometimes my dinners because I'm living with 3 boys, my 2 sons and my husband, who are all video gamers. So when they start talking, they might as well start talking Italian.
Whole other language.
It's a whole other
Yeah,
language.
see, and I
I
that's
sit
fine, but
there
I
and
don't
I'm
get
like,
into it.
oh my gosh, I do not get into it. I do not know what they're talking about. I can't tell if it's a movie, if they flip from
Yeah.
a movie to a show. And now they're remaking all the Marvel stuff. So I know my
Yes.
son was watching, I totally forgot what it was. was. Oh my goodness, it's embarrassing. So he's watching
no,
a show.
but you're right. There's so much stuff coming out from Marvel.
And so there, and because then a new show, so then they have to watch the past show to, and they're all like just
All the
gone
movies are
sieved right through my
connected.
head. Yeah, because they're all connected, and it's Jennifer. Oh no, what's her name? Jones. Oh my goodness,
Jessica Jones.
Jessica Jones.
Yeah. On
Yes.
Netflix, the Defender series.
The Defender series, yeah. So they've been, so talking all about that, and so I can't keep all of it straight.
No.
Yeah.
I've
I
talked
can't
like that
either.
about Doctor Who.
Okay,
yes,
there you go.
yeah.
All the time
Yeah,
travel, wibbly
yeah.
wobbly.
Which forever I called Dr. No and drove my sons crazy because I'd call him Dr. No. But anyway, so that's a different, so our gardening, so I have my little gardening fix when we're here, and definitely. So I think it's great, podcasts, internet radio, because people can really find what they want to talk about, right? What they
Absolutely.
pertains to them.
And speaking of that, we want to do this draw.
We do, yes.
So I'm going to bring in the names
Yes.
we have thus far.
Okay.
Okay, and then you can go from there.
Excellent. So if there's anybody listening, you still have got a couple minutes before Gary gets in here to email us a question, a comment, something. I'd love, and so we've got 2 books to raffle off, one on deer-proofing your yard and one on root cellar. We also have some gardening guides to donate as well, or to reward you with some swag. And if you've told us about your favorite episode or your favorite topic, I'd love to hear that. And and the people that write that in, I will do a garden. You'll win a garden consult with me. To kind of give you some...
There'll be one winner of a garden consult.
Right.
Yes. Okay.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Thank you.
If you wrote in,
Yes.
there's 6 people who did.
Yes. One of you will win a garden consult by me.
Yep.
There you go. How's that?
That sounds fun.
And
Very
so
exciting.
yeah, it is, and it's been fun, and I'm looking forward to next week's show. I know everybody's getting ready for the holiday season.
Yes.
Yes, Garden Center is completely Christmas.
It's completely Christmas. It's urns. We're selling live Christmas trees already.
Yes.
Everlasting Christmas trees already. It's fantastic.
Excellent.
It's really exciting.
Okay. That is good. And I know last Monday's show you tied up all those trees. Have the tree delivery stopped? Are you still getting trees delivered?
I think there's one little one yet to come. Just a few little back orders or little things like reeds, a little bit of extra garland,
Oh, okay.
some trees
Yes.
still yet to come. But
Okay.
Yep.
Yes.
It's almost done. It's almost all in.
Oh my goodness. I
Yes.
haven't done any yet.
If you haven't bought your everlasting tree now, this is the time of year
Okay.
where stock is dropping
Okay.
very quickly.
Yes.
Here we
Don't
go with
wait.
the
Yeah.
everlasting. I love that,
I
Everlasting.
man.
know, our
And
everlasting.
That was something new that was brought up to me. Was it last week? No, 2 weeks ago when you were here doing your show. And I thought, because we always, for decades, would call them artificial trees. And now it's everlasting.
Now it's everlasting.
Right.
Or at least we say everlasting.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. So now, they're trying to change things because I guess artificial. Well, then they used to be
Some
fake, and
sort,
then they're
yeah.
artificial, and now it's becoming everlasting. Excellent. Excellent. So, drum roll. Do we have a drum roll?
Yeah, I'll do it in my mouth. No,
Okay.
here-
Now. Oh, does that work? That's very cool. Very cool. So, our first book. Deer proofing your yard and garden, and I think this is going to be appropriate for Blaine is our winner from Halliburton, Ontario.
Ah,
yeah.
congratulations.
And I bet cottage country, I bet you have some issues with deer. So that is excellent.
Beautiful.
Blaine.
And
So
Blaine, if you're listening,
congratulations.
we will be contacting you through your email to get all your information where to send that. So congratulations.
Yeah, excellent. Well, thank you very much definitely for writing in. And ta-da! So the joy of keeping a root cellar is going, and the winner is our first person who wrote in was Adam Anderson. So thank you very much.
Where's Adam from?
Adam is from Seattle, Washington.
Seattle, Washington.
Excellent.
Congratulations,
So-
Adam.
Congrats.
I know, that's good. Excellent, Adam. So thank you very much.
And we're not giving away the socks, right? It's a joke, folks.
Yeah.
we had socks, but we're
We
not
had
giving away the
socks.
socks.
That's right.
No,
That's
no.
right. So
These were Christmas socks. These were nice socks.
they were.
When you're out there getting, bringing in all your plants and things, and your feet are cold, and you want some nice pair of socks to put on with your boots.
Listen to reality
yeah,
radio.
right.
101.
Well, that's right. We'll give them away some other time, but yeah.
That's right.
Maybe
Yes.
next year we'll have Down the Garden Path socks.
Yeah, that would be
Oh,
great.
yeah. You think so?
Yeah, that'd look
Okay.
cool.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
So do we want to give away some garden guides?
Sure.
Okay. Excellent. So you doing the drum roll, please?
So the first winner is Chris Lapinese from Winnipeg, Manitoba.
Excellent.
Thank you,
Excellent.
Chris.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Very nice.
So it's a great resource guide for
It-
sure.
It is. There's a lot of really cool information in there.
Yes.
And I know, Chris, I believe you're in Zone 3. And so there's still some really good information
And where's Chris from,
in there for you. Too.
Matt?
Winnipeg, Manitoba.
Oh, Winnipeg. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Excellent.
Mhm.
Well, that's good.
So congratulations, Chris. And
Drum roll, please, again. So we're taking the last few minutes of the show.
we'll have to get, yeah.
To-do. So Ty Williams,
Ooh.
also winner of our,
Garden
and he's
Guide.
from Oakville, Ontario. So so
Yay.
definitely write that down.
Yay, Ty.
Excellent.
Please keep track of all those things for us.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, Matthew's on it. On it. And Gail Tish, so our last copy of the
Ooh.
garden reference guide, garden guide.
Yes.
Yeah.
Congratulations,
so that is great.
Gail.
That is great. And she would be in a different zone as well, but still, it's a really great reference.
Yeah, I think
Where's
she'll
she
still
from?
enjoy it. She's from South Valley, New Mexico.
Oh,
Yeah.
very cool.
Excellent.
Very cool.
Excellent. Yes. So that is
Well,
excellent.
the two of you should feel like Santa Claus.
we kind of do. We kind of do.
Yeah, and as we say in New York, where I'm from, you should feel like Santa Claus.
Feel like
That's right.
Santa Claus. You gave out a lot of beautiful gifts.
Yes. Well, and we have one more to give. So the grand prize winner.
Whoa, one more?
Yeah, we do. The grand prize winner of a garden consult with me is Peter Jonesum from Toronto, Ontario, which
Very
is perfect
nice.
because he's local.
Wow.
And so, Peter, I hope you're still listening, and I hope that you have questions for me, or that could be, or I guess you can make it a gift if it's not something that you need or whatever. But we'll send you an email. We'll contact you with the details. So this has
Yes.
been fun. It has been fun.
It has been fun. And we have a question in from
When does season 4 start?
Bill,
I'm
when
like,
does
where's the
season
question? I don't see the question.
in the subject.
I didn't see the question either.
Yeah,
right?
okay,
I, said,
good.
I see Bill D,
Yes.
but I don't see the question.
Excellent. Well, that is a very good question, Bill, because I actually wrote that. Let's see if I printed that out. I didn't. It is actually January 16th, I think, or 15th. I know.
Whatever the Monday is.
Whatever the Monday is. The January 15th, season 4 starts. January 8th, Matt and I, were going to be at the designer conference.
Yeah.
So that is why we are have to bump it another week.
When Bill wrote in, when I see when does season 4 start, I thought you were talking about a TV show or something.
Yeah.
Right? Like, because we were talking about movies,
Yeah, movies and
so I'm
TV
thinking,
shows
what
and stuff
show
like
is he
that.
talking about?
Yes. So thank you very much for your question, and and so we're please stay tuned. Please tune into our my website, I guess my website, which is downtoearth.ca, Facebook page, Instagram, and you'll follow along because I'm going to give you some teasers and some ideas on what we're going to do for 2018.
Yeah.
And
We'll create one of those movie trailers.
Oh, will we?
That we were-
Will you?
Yeah. Will you?
And you're-
For season 4.
Yeah, for season 4. So definitely looking forward to it. And looking forward to next week's show. So please don't miss that. Lots of stuff to talk about as we prepare and decorate for the holiday season. I've known myself, I've moved more and more to natural stuff and bringing my outdoors in and using all that stuff that's in my yard or in nature to bring into the house. So I'm really excited about that. And save up if you've got more questions about everlasting trees and real life Christmas trees. You can still ask Matthew after his episode a few weeks ago with Gary. So lots to talk about.
Lots to talk about. We love questions.
We do.
Don't forget, if you don't want to send them here to instudio101@gmail.com, you can follow Joanne or ask Joanne on our website at down2earth.ca.
Excellent.
Or you can find me at naturalaffinitydesigns.ca.
Perfect.
And all of our social media is there as well.
Excellent. And speaking of my website, it is under revision. It should be, the new one should be up tomorrow, which will make it easier to find the podcast and the radio show. I've kind of changed things a little bit. So I'm looking forward to that. So I've been working away on that and behind the scenes. So it's been great. And thank you, Gary, again for putting up with me.
You're welcome, and congratulations.
Thank you. It's been a lot of fun, and I've learned a ton, and I think that's why I want to keep doing it, is because we're, like we say in our intro, we learn right along with you.
We do indeed.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. What a beautiful show. And folks, we want to thank you as well for listening to keep us on the air and supporting Joanne as well.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, everyone, for joining us down the garden path here on Reality Radio 101.
You have been listening to Down the Garden Path with your host, Joanne Shaw and Matthew Dressing, right here on Reality Radio 101.